so shy?
I take a lot of inspiration from different facets of queer culture, but I'd say my biggest influence is probably punk or like underground sort of like music culture, because when I was younger my dad was in like a Christian rock band and like I remember we used to like travel around with him around the country when he was doing tours and stuff. A lot of them would wear like their punk or their rock outfits, and I thought that was so cool and I wanted to be just like them, so I'd always like wear that kind of clothing. When I moved here, I moved under the assumption that when I came out to my parents, I wasn't going to be able to talk to them again or have the same relationship that I have with them now. Five years ago, I was still going to church pretty much every Sunday and every Wednesday and every Thursday and Sunday twice a day. My dad was like one of like the seniors in the church, one of the elders, and he wanted me and my brother to be a part of the church band as well, so I would be singing or playing keyboard. 5 years ago I was in a place with religion where I was kind of beginning to question a lot of things, because I'd had a lot of like bad things happen in my life and I was like, why would God do this to me? Like those ideas of unconditional love versus the pain that I'd experienced. And I was beginning to question that around me. And I was beginning to be like, I don't really want to go to church this Sunday. So 5 years ago, I guess, was like the beginning of my separation. My relationship with religion now is very different than it used to be. At one point, I was really fighting against religion and fighting against the idea of anything other than myself. But I feel like I've come to a place where I found a lot more peace and stability in what I believe. Religion creates a very different way of thinking and a very different set of life experiences. But I think it also taught me a lot more empathy and kindness. It can lead someone to a more closed way of thinking, because it can take people down some very beautiful paths and it can create some wonderful things, but it can also lead to violence and it can lead to hatred. The change that occurs in a person lies in their intentions and how they want it to change them. In the mornings I like to read like my tarot cards and like do little things like that, and they might not be incredibly meaningful or correct or anything like that. It's just that it brings me a lot of peace to be able to do something physical, and in that I feel like I have a lot more control and a lot more purpose in my life. Yeah. So when I used to go home, it felt like, I used to always say, it felt like I was wearing somebody else's skin. Like I had to put on a suit to match the expectations that I like had invented for myself when I went home. Now that I've officially come out and talked to my parents and all that kind of thing, I feel like going home is going to be a lot more comforting. I've discovered that I'm capable of a lot more than I thought I was, because when I was a kid I was like, I'm not gonna make it past the age of 17, so I didn't have a plan. I used to think about the future like it was just this dream that I had, that it wasn't achievable, like I was looking at a fairy tale. But these days my future feels more real, so I feel like every year I am becoming a better version of myself. When I think about the future, I feel like I have a lot of opportunities ahead of me.